What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody pushed their clocks forward. Spring forward, fall back. So I hope everybody pushed their clocks forward. You know, I hate losing that hour, but I love that that means that spring is upon us. Summer will be here soon. Y'all know that's my favorite time of the year because it's my birthday. Also because I'm a teacher. And of course, I love the summer because I don't work during the summer, okay? They don't pay me enough to work in the summer. Okay. Let's get into this episode. So, shall we still down to Deep Creek? We are still down to the Deep Creek. And sorry about that. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, I was having some technical difficulty. That's why I had to go. That's why I was late. I was having some technical difficulty, so everybody can see me. What's my sound like? Y'all know I got to do a sound check. Sound check, sound check. Let me know if I'm good on the mic. All right, let's get into it, y'all. Y'all can hear me? Everybody can hear me good? I don't want to be talking and then y'all be like, we can't hear you. This episode annoyed you. Why did it annoy you, CC Freak? I thought, well, we going to get into it. Hey, what's up, boo? Hey, Kenya. Hey. Let me know y'all can hear me and I'll get started. I want to make sure y'all can hear me. I'm good? Okay, good. Let's get into it. Now, I do have a lot of notes from today. And I normally don't have this many notes, but I wanted to be very accurate about some stuff because y'all love to get in my comments and try to tell me what y'all gonna try to make me change my mind about something. So I wanted to make sure I had good notes because the end of this episode was really good. And I think it started to give a different perspective, but I'm sure y'all gonna disagree with me, honey. We'll see. Y'all know what I want to do? I want to interview Sherelle. Y'all know I don't really even be doing a lot of interviews over here, but I want to interview Shirelli. I really do. I feel like she has. We'll get to that, but I want to interview Shirelli. If somebody know her Instagram handle, can y'all drop it in the chat for me, please, or can y'all inbox it to me? I don't know her Instagram handle. So if you just walked in from church, well, listen, I hope you pray for me, and I hope this don't undo what just happened down to the church house. But if y'all know her Instagram, real talk, if y'all know her Instagram, can y'all either drop it in the chat or can y'all inbox it to me? I'm gonna reach out to her this week because I really do. I want to interview her because I just do. I'll get to that at the end. Y'all remind me at the end to tell y'all why I want to interview her. I know she's gonna be on their recap tomorrow, but so you know what? Maybe I'll get my answers because I only want to interview her because there's certain questions I have. But maybe I'll get my answers. You know what? They probably have her tagged in the interview for tomorrow. But y'all know I'm gonna be over there listening. Y'all know I'm gonna listen. I know that they had to push it back because Ashley's on vacation or she might be back by now. But because y'all know I really wanted to hear Sherelle and Black's point of view on this episode. But let's get into it. So we are still at dinner, and there is tension, and nobody is talking. Now remember what I told y'all last week, and I know for those of y'all that are not team Ashley, y'all can be like, how do we know that really happened? But Quick sort of confirmed what Ashley said, if y'all were listening. Remember, Ashley said that when Cliff first came in the house, he did not speak to Quick. That he came over to Quick after the fact. Was that somebody sending me the information? Thank you. Thank you, Kenya. Kenya just sent it to me. All right, so I'm going to read it. I'm going to send her an invite for an interview. I'm going to do it today when we get off of here, okay? She may not be interested because I don't think she's done a lot of interviews, but I wonder if people just haven't reached out or if she's just not interested. But I'm going to reach out. Worst thing she could say is no. My feelings on her. I get it. Listen, I've reached out to people for interviews and they just they don't respond. Like, I'm like, damn, you could at least say no. You just going to ignore my email, but okay. But anyway, so later on, Quick said, when him and Ashley were talking the next morning, Quick said something like, Cliff tried to come in the house and tried to speak to me like ain't nothing happened. Like, nah, me and you need to talk. Me and you need to talk. Thank you, Kenya. Thank you so much. Thank you for the thumbs up on both channels. Thank you, Keisha. So, dinner looked like it was boring as hell. It looked like nobody was really talking. It looked like the tension, you could cut it with a knife. CC Free says, real talk, I think they're giving the Silvers a bad edit due to them claiming they want to leave the show. I absolutely think the Silvers are getting a bad edit. I've said before, and I will continue to say, and shout out to Ashley. She watched my review last week, and she appreciated the fact that she said, and she even said that she commented under the review, and she said, exactly, I'm not saying that I'm an angel, I'm just saying let's be fair. And I'm paraphrasing because that may not be word for word what she said, but y'all can go look at the comment under my video and see what she said. But basically that's what she's saying. Like, listen, I know I'm no angel in this situation, but don't make me the devil either. And that's just how I feel about it. I know for those of you that feel like I'm just I'm team Ashley or whatever. I'm team nobody. I'm really team nobody. I told you guys from the beginning, I liked Joy from Ready to Love. I liked Joy and Cliff from Ready to Love. Even after the reunion, when everybody kind of got mad at Joy and sort of turned on Joy, I still was out here defending Joy. I don't have no beef with Joy. I don't like the way Joy has handled this situation from where I sit. Let me keep going. So, basically, everybody ended up going home, going to bed, whatever. Now, I don't know how long they sat there, but the way it was edited, it looked like they weren't there that long before everybody was like, oh, it's been a long day, I'm going to bed. And that was pretty much the end of dinner. So, the next morning, we have breakfast. So, we have Sherelle and Winter in the kitchen cooking breakfast. We have Quick and Ashley in their room having a conversation. And then we have Urana and Jamie in their room having a conversation. And y'all know how they do. They kind of flip it back. And of course, we have Clifton and Joy at their hotel, and so they kind of splicing it together, all these different conversations. Sherelle and Winter, basically Sherelle feels like Joy is not being held accountable. I'm gonna come back to that. Matter of fact, let me do that one. Remind me to come back to that. She feels like Joy isn't being held accountable, and that's what's really irritating her. That's what's really pissing her off. Urana and Jamie, Urana feels like she hates that she hates the fact that the Pettys are 20 minutes away. And I wrote in my notes, they're 20 minutes away by choice. They chose to not stay at that house. Whatever their reasons were, they chose not to stay at that house. So, you making it seem like somebody banished them. They didn't. I feel like Urana was really trying hard to defend Joy and Cliff in that conversation. And I'm going to be honest, I feel like, this is my opinion. I haven't talked to anybody. The way Jamie was moving in this scene, and even later on when he was trying to get Joy and Cliff to sort of apologize a little bit, I feel like there's a part of Jamie that either A, just wants everybody to move past it so they can sort of get back to having fun, or B, because he was there and because he does know certain things, I feel like there's a part of Jamie that does feel like there is some fault on both sides. I'm not saying he feels like one isn't more at fault than the other, but I feel like, again, because I feel like when Urana was trying to engage him in that conversation, I didn't feel like he was. Jamie know how to talk. Jamie definitely knows how to make his opinion be heard, and I feel like he was more or less letting Urana talk, and he was kind of like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So to me, a part of me feels like he's sort of kind of like, at this point, I'm just either over the whole thing, or I see where there's some fault on both sides. That's how I felt. Again, I don't know that to be true. Jamie might say, hell no, that ain't what I was hell no, that ain't what I was thinking. Um Quick and Ashley, I already told y'all that part about when Quick said, what they said or whatever. I thought that was a cute scene with Quick and Ashley, the whole morning breath thing. I thought it was cute. I thought it was a nice light moment where we got a chance to really see them enjoy each other as a couple. I think a lot of you can't send a super chat. You might be on the wrong channel, can you? You can send a super chat on the main channel. The other channel isn't monetized yet. So if you're on the Really B TV Reviews channel, you can't do a super chat. It's not monetized yet. I love you for wanting to send me a super chat, but you have to go to the other channel, to my main channel. That's why I'm trying to get that. Look, I'm trying to get them both monetized. Yeah. Okay. So I just thought that was cute because, like I said, a lot of people try to always make it seem like, Ashley and Quick are always, Ashley's so nasty to Quick. So I thought that was a cute moment to show them, just laughing and joking with each other. And I definitely think that's funny because I always think about the morning breath thing. Whenever I see people on TV or couples wake up and they be having whole conversations in each other's face, and I be thinking to myself, y'all don't smell each other's breath. I don't give a damn what you do. I don't care if you brush your teeth at night. I don't care. Unless you do a Whitley Gilbert where you get up 20 minutes before he get up and you go brush your teeth, baby, it's funky. It's funky. CC Freak said, real talk, they were giving the Silvers a bad attitude. Oh, I just read that. After watching the episode, I feel like production are giving the Petties too much. Say so and what they will and won't do. I feel the same way, CC Freak. And that's in my notes. Cheryl said, I feel the same way. I'm team nobody, but the optics of them making Ashley a mean girl when no one is innocent in this matter. Absolutely, absolutely. That annoyed me. They weren't banished, Urana. It wasn't just their choice, though. It was Ashley saying stuff to them about riding or being in the same house. So it still be that they are just separated. I don't understand what you're saying, Waste Beast Bobbery. I don't understand what you're saying. I felt like Jamie is trying to keep the show going by having the Petties apologize for their part. I agree. I feel like Jamie is like, can we just move past this bullshit? I think Jamie is just over it at this point. Like, I don't think he has any beef one way. Well, when they were filming this, now there's a very clear divide. But when they were filming this, I feel like Jamie was just kind of like, look, I'm cool with everybody. Can we just all... I feel like he was the Rodney King. Like, can we all just get along? Okay. Hey, Xavier, what's going on? Deidre says Ashley and Joy are bullies, and that may be it. Maybe they're so much alike. That's why they can't get along. There may be some validity to that, okay? Okay. So then we have breakfast, and Yusha, even though I know the status of Yusha and Winter's relationship in present day, even if they were still together, I would still feel the way I felt about this whole situation. I felt like Yusha doing that whole Valentine's Day moment, I feel like that was very self-serving. I feel like that was very much about him. The whole letter, because you even heard Quick say, oh, wait a minute, man, I thought we was doing gifts later. I'd have brought my gift down. So I feel like the guys sort of had a conversation. About what that was supposed to look like as far as their Valentine's Day gifts. And Yusha sort of did his own thing, and he did it publicly. And I feel like that was self-serving. Because that letter was very personal. I'm saying to still film, they separated themselves. Yeah, we agree. We're saying the same thing. We agree. Yeah. They separated themselves. We agree. Yeah. But it was cute. He got her some Louis Vuitton sunglasses and he wrote her a letter. Now, before somebody, take what I said, I'm not saying it wasn't a nice gesture for him to do a handwritten letter. I'm just saying I feel like him taking that moment at breakfast when it seemed like they had already had a conversation about when and how they were going to do the Valentine's Day gift exchange seemed very I want to be seen. And maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I know my opinion would have been the same even if I didn't know they broke up. My opinion would be the same because I was like, when I heard when I heard Jamie and well, I think it was Jamie. I know Quick said something. I think either Jamie or Black, but at least two out of the three guys were like, well, damn, if I knew, like I thought we said we were gonna do, you know what I mean? Right? It was a stunt, Melly. It was. So over breakfast, there were a couple of conversations. Urana and Ashley sort of got into it. Urana maintains that Cliff did not get in Ashley's face. Ashley said Cliff did. I'm not arguing that again. I have said my piece on it, and y'all can agree or disagree. I don't care anymore. I've said my piece on that whole Cliff Ashley situation down to the suite. And Jamie even said, and again, this is another reason why I feel like Jamie thinks that there's some fault on both sides because Jamie even said to Ashley, so you're not going to take any responsibility for your part. He didn't say this was all you. He didn't say you're not going to take responsibility for what you did. He said for your part. So I feel like that Jamie feels like there's some fault on both sides. Again, that's my opinion. Jamie said he was trying to get everyone to hash it out, but if you watch the interview, Ashley also put them out the box in that scene. She was cussing all of them out, he said. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not saying Ashley is an angel. I'm not. But like I said from the beginning, Joy should have never took her ass back in that suite. And when Ashley, see, here's the part that nobody, well, not nobody. For the people who are Team Joy, they don't want to acknowledge this part. When Ashley and Joy were in the hallway arguing, and Ashley was like, well, I don't want to be your friend. Joy said, I don't want to be your friend. And they were like, cool, then we ain't friends. Ashley said, then y'all can go. Joy said, I'm not going anywhere. So yes, Ashley probably did cuss him out. Ashley probably did tell all of them. Joy ass should have never went back in that damn suite. Or if she did go back in that suite, she should have went back in that suite to say, Cliff, let's go. Let's get our stuff. We're leaving. Because you were asked to leave. Now, I get it that they were filming the show and all of that. But the suite belonged to Ashley and Quick. Ashley asked you to leave. You should have left. Now, do I think that makes it okay? I told y'all before that I didn't like the fact that Ashley called Cliff sassy. I didn't like it. I have said that. I said I wasn't going to do this again. And I'm not. Neither here nor there. Joy should have never took her ass back in that suite. Moving on. Let me read the comments and let me go on to my next thing. Because I ain't about to sit here and keep arguing about that. Hey, Kenya. Thank you for the super chat, my love. Thank you for switching channels to send me a super chat. I appreciate it. Those accommodations for the petties were not up to par. I'm a hotel snob. Though to be fair, Winter's boyfriend seemed disingenuous. Yes. And I said that last week. I said production know they was wrong for putting them up in that hotel, but then somebody told me that they were responsible for their own hotel accommodations, I guess because they decided not to stay at the house. I don't know which is true because I ain't talked to nobody on production. But production, if y'all put them up in that hotel, y'all was wrong. That was some bullshit because that hotel looked like the hotel from The Shining. Y'all remember The Shining? The movie The Shining? It's an old movie. What's his name? Stephen King. Baby, that looked like the Shining Hotel. Okay, that looked like they had to get in their room from outside. I'm a little bit of a hotel snob too. Not that I've always been, because let's be clear, I ain't always been a hotel snob, but I'm just saying where I am today in my life, as hard as my ass work and all the shit I put up with, when I stay at a hotel, I want to be comfortable. Okay. What I don't like is people talking about other people, and the person that is talked about wants to have a conversation with the person, but they won't give them the time. Baby CC Freak, we gonna get there. Matter of fact, depending on how far, I might even have time to drop the link. I agree that letter should have been read in private. If Ashley is still calling Cliff out of his name and playing victim, I wouldn't stay in the same house. Can you imagine running into her by accident? Oh, that would cause DJ Fun Size to try and fight. Ashley and Joy are both mean. The difference is Joy not bound down to Ashley. I don't blame them for disengaging. If the bus ride was any indication of how they were going to behave, I wouldn't stay there either. Joy should have left when Ashley told her to. She said no. Right. She said she wasn't leaving. Ashley isn't innocent, but neither is Joy. Thank you. Just simply, that's all I'm saying. Jamie and Cliff were being sarcastic. He told him to just not say nothing else because Ashley wouldn't stop. Joy should have come in and told Cliff goodbye. I'm just reading through the comments and because y'all are really talking in the chat today. Y'all is talking. DB, hey auntie. Well, hey nephew, niece, hey. Not Team Joy, but this was all cast. This was an all cast event. I wouldn't leave either unless production said so. Ashley would never control my check. Production would have asked me to roll out. Okay, so it wasn't an all cast event because Sherelle and Black were not invited. This was an event where Ashley was forced to invite Joy and Clifton. I just want to be clear. It was not an all cast event because the whole cast wasn't invited. Okay. I think Ashley's part is more on camera and Joy's part is more behind the scenes. So that's one of the reasons the cast has a problem with the Patties. Oop, not Motel 6. It was given Motel 6. Hotel John, yes. Howard John, yes. The hotel is part of the Deep Creek timeshare when they want people to invest. Oh, that's not a way to get nobody invest, Cheryl. I done been to Deep Creek. We always just rent a house. I guess maybe we renting from people who have timeshares. I don't know. That is not a way to get me to invest. That is not how I would invest. That would not convince me. I'm just saying. My parents have a timeshare, and listen. I would invest in their timeshare. The timeshare my parents have, I would invest in a minute. That would not convince me. But moving on. My hotels have to have a hallway. My rooms cannot be accessible from outside. You better say it again for the people in the Joy just seems so bitter on the show now. Why is she unhappy in real life? Ooh, oh. Winter wasn't invited either. Winter wasn't at the event, and the Blacks were not. Sherelle and Black were not invited. All right, let me get back to my notes, child. I'm just trying to keep up because y'all talking. Y'all is talking today. All right. Ooh. Breakfast convo. Okay. Sherelle upset that Joy. Okay. Sherelle is upset that Joy can tell her story and now with no pushback. Now, that's what that's what CC Freak was just saying. And I agree with you 100%. My biggest problem, even forget about the Ashley Joy shit. I'm so over it. I don't even care anymore. And that's why I really do want to talk to Sherelle. I'm still going to reach out to her about an interview. But again, maybe she'll answer what I want to ask her about tomorrow when she does the review with Ashley and Winter. But my problem is this. I have a problem with Joy being able to spin the narrative and make the serious accusations that she made about Black and about Sherelle without ever having to be held accountable for those statements. And production has allowed that. And so my fault is more with production than it honestly is with the Petties. Because they're only doing what they're allowed to do. But production should not ever have allowed Joy and Clifton to not meet with Sherelle and Black. Now, Clifton, maybe not so much, but because there's a man involved, I think Clifton should have been there. And even if the conversation went bust, even if the conversation did not yield anything, the fact that Sherelle said her and Black have been asking for a conversation and production would not make them do it. Now, I do know that Joy met with Sherelle at the first half of the season and it, really didn't go anywhere. But let's be clear. Whether it's true or not, because I don't know. I wasn't there. I do know that Mumble Sauce was a very successful group here in DC. I know they had some crossover success. Black may very well have mismanaged money. Black may very well have made some bad decisions. Black may very well have done the things that Joy is accusing him of doing. I wasn't there. But the fact that she is able to throw those kinds of things out, and this man is still in business, this man still does production, this man is still in that industry without you being able to have a conversation about it, I think that's fucked up. And again, I put that more on production. I put that more on production than I put on Joy and Cliff. I do. And I agree with Sherelle, and I agree with her being upset about it. I agree with it. The fact about her being the side chick or the other woman. Again, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. Joy, you have your truth, and maybe your version is the truth. I don't know. But the fact that you called this woman a whole home wrecker, side chick, and everything else on national television, and then you don't give her the opportunity to at least have the conversation, I think it's fucked up. That's my opinion. And it ain't gonna change. Let me read the comments. Y'all is talking. Okay, hold on. Ashley is giving, she like Cliff, that's why she always, I don't think that's it, but okay. Ashley shouldn't have invited them, period. The sweet, they made her invite Gemini production. Ashley said that she didn't invite them. She didn't. She invited the blacks, and production came back and told her the blacks can't come. Joy and Clifton are coming. So that's why Ashley had, and I'm not defending Ashley, but that's why Ashley had an attitude from the door, because Ashley didn't want them there. She did not want them there. Production made that dynamic. The suite was comped since DJ Fun Size was DJing. Ashley wasn't cool with Winter at the time. She made alliances after she realized how her edit was going. Production made her, oh, thank you, somebody already said it. Right, so that's my job. And the bitter mean at work ain't going to stop my check. The big boss would have told me to leave after I make sure I confirm my direct deposit. Okay, Diva. Regardless of the Duncans not appearing on the credits, they still have a contract. They got the same contract everybody else got. They should have made Joy have one-on-one conversation. The hypocrisy for me is both Clifton and have a conversation. I think you missed something, Cheryl. It's the X came out. Has the X come out to prove Joy right? I don't know. I remember Joy. I feel like Joy had a conversation way back at the beginning of the season, a year and a half ago. I feel like Joy had a conversation with somebody, but I don't remember if it was the friend in question or if it was just a friend in general. I don't remember because that was a damn year and a half ago. Sherelle and Black picked the wrong way because production can edit out what they want, so it doesn't matter if that's not the narrative they want to portray. I don't know what you mean when you say Sherelle and Black picked the wrong way. I don't know what that means. Why does Jay care so much? They is married now. Or why does Joy care so much? Because she said that was her friend. So, I mean, listen, from the perspective that was my friend. Okay, let me say this. Joy's perspective is her perspective. And if Joy's perspective, see, my what's the word I'm looking for? My opinion is my reality. That's not the word I'm looking for. Y'all know what I'm talking about. My perspective. My perspective is my reality. Joy's perspective is that Black is an unscrupulous businessman that did her dirty and cheated on her friend with his now wife. She has a right to feel the way she feels because that is her reality. That doesn't make it true. That doesn't make it a lie. I understand Joy's point of view, and I respect Joy's point of view. Let's be clear. The problem I'm having, and I was going to save this, but I'm just going to say it now. The problem I'm having is you signed up. Perception, thank you. Your perception is your reality. You signed up to be on a reality show. You know how this shit goes. You signed, and when you found out that they were on the show, if you did not want to engage, if you did not want to interact with them, then you should have quit. Period. But the fact that you moved forward, you had to know that you were going to have some interaction with these people. That is how the shit works. That is what a reality show is. That is what an ensemble cast is. You don't get to pick and choose who you're going to be around. That is the same thing I've been saying about Potomac. It fucks up the show. And when I get to the end, I'm going to tell you what I mean. If you don't already, you know. Uh... I mean, combating the side chick narrative. If production will not show the real convo, they won't. So why join reality TV where you can't control the narrative at all? But I don't think Sherelle thought that was gonna be the narrative. I don't think Sherelle. I mean, again, these are the questions I would ask Sherelle if I interviewed her. But I don't think Sherelle saw that coming. I don't think she thought that was Joy's opinion of her. I don't know that to be a fact, but I don't think she saw that coming. Right. If you want to be on reality TV, you will have to film with people you don't like. Like, I feel like Joy and Cliff came on this show thinking they were only going to have to deal with the Tylers, and maybe because you know her and Ashley were cool. So I think they felt like, well, maybe I don't have to film with who I don't want to have to film with. And again, that is my problem with production, because you have allowed that. You have allowed Joy to not film with who she doesn't want to film with, and I have a problem with that. All right, the business part is understandable because we, the public, will never know the truth. It's the calling someone a homewrecker and not giving that person a chance to rebut is my issue. Okay, let me get back to my notes. Y'all are talking today. Okay, then I wrote Joy and Cliff not going skiing. I wrote in my notes, should not be allowed. Again, my problem is with production. You allowed them to stay at a house, fine, whatever. Then you allow them to pick and choose what activities they want to be a part of. I got a problem with that. I have a problem with you picking it. Even though Sherelle did not actually physically get on the skis, she was there. And she was there from the beginning. I know people are going to be like, well, Joy and Clifton did show up. They clearly showed up hours later. They had already gone through their ski instructions. They had already gone through the instructions with the ski instructor. They had already practiced. And they were getting ready to go up on the people who were ready to go down the real slope was getting ready to go up on the real slope. They clearly were hours late. I have a problem with the fact that they get to pick and choose what they want to participate in. And again, my issue is with production. What up, Don Don? But here's what I also wrote in my notes. I want y'all to hear this. For all the people who say that I'm Team Ashley, I want y'all to hear what I wrote in my notes. No one is taking accountability. I wrote that in my notes. No one is taking accountability. Skiing lessons. Okay, waist beads. Jamie said that's not how it goes. Joy can tell her producer she has something to do and can't film, just like Quick was doing the first season. That's how you get out of filming. Okay, well then why were they allowed to not film at the ski resort? Why were they allowed to not show up to skiing? They were there. They were 20 minutes away. I wrote that the skiing lessons looked fun. They looked like they were having a good time. They were all laughing with each other and falling and stuff. That was cool. Cliff and Joy show up. The Tylers and the Pettys are having a conversation outside while Ashley and Sherelle are inside having a cocktail. I wrote Jamie tried to be the peacemaker. He tried to get an apology. Again, I hear Jamie's. I heard Jamie's words, and Jamie said, was it your intent to be disrespectful? Again, I feel like he's trying his best to get people to sort of give people a way out. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a way when you're trying to make peace that you give people a way out so that they feel comfortable and moving forward without having to really admit that they did anything wrong. And I feel like that's kind of that's what Jamie was trying to do in that moment when he was like, well, was it your intent to be disrespectful? I don't think Jamie was saying that Cliff was disrespectful. I don't think he was saying one thing or the other. I think he was trying to give people a way out. I think they were trying to get away. Cali girl, don't come in here with that. They didn't film. I'm telling you what didn't happen. They didn't film. They didn't go scan and they didn't film. They weren't there. We did not see them. They were not with the group. Now, listen, I'm all here for y'all. If y'all want to be Team Joy, and I'm fine with that, but we're not gonna recreate what we see on our screens. They weren't there. This is why. See, this is why I didn't need to review this show. I knew it. I knew this is why I didn't need to review this show. This is why I don't believe they are coming back. No one takes accountability. No one wants to film. It's all frustrating to the viewers, and honestly, the production team gives lazy. The production. Listen, I said last week. One, I agree with you, Don Don. I really don't think the show is coming back. Two, if the show is coming back, Carlos needs to hire a new production team because this production team is terrible. They are terrible. I don't know who they are, so it ain't personal, but it's terrible. I feel like Jamie was trying to give the Petties a clue to help them fix the narrative on how they were going to look on TV. I agree. Production is always an issue. Look how they are working overtime to make Candace and Wendy the villains on Potomac. It's proven that bad production can ruin the show. I agree. Gemini Diva, me and you agree on something, honey. I agree. No matter what is discussed, Ashley is not going to take accountability for her wrongdoing. Quick as a punk and should let his wife know when she is wrong. Ashley let this show go to her head. Okay. Jamie seems to be the nicer guy this season, but is it genuine? Good question. The production team is trash. They are. This production team is trash. I agree with you on that, Callie. What these shows need to stop doing is trying to produce a reality show instead of film a reality show. I agree. But I think that's part of the reason why the genre of reality TV is sort of, it's never going to, well, never is a strong word. It's not going away anytime soon. And the reason why I say that is because it's so cheap to produce. It's such an easy, it's an easy show to put together. But I agree with you 100% from the point of view of, instead of just letting things happen naturally. But part of the problem is people don't want to be seen a certain way, and so they produce themselves. They only want to let you see certain things. I mean, that's just, we see it, and we see that across all genres. We see that on the quote unquote white reality shows, black reality shows. Like, that's, we see that across the board. All right, let me finish up my notes. Okay. Skiing lessons. Okay. Right. Jamie was trying to get the Patties to acknowledge, apologize, and Joy was like, no, hell no, absolutely not. Okay. Joy said that she doesn't feel like talking because she doesn't think a conversation would change anything, so everybody can just move forward the way they've been moving forward. To a certain extent, I do agree, but I think a conversation will help people move forward. I think without the conversation, like Black is saying, again, we don't have to agree. Like, Black is never going to agree with Joy's version of what happened. And Joy is never going to agree with Black's version of what happened. But the reality of the situation is the conversation might help everybody move forward to whatever the next storyline is. We're stuck in this storyline because ain't nobody trying to resolve the storyline. Winter got hurt. They went back to the house. I thought that was nice. How everybody was trying to help out Winter. Even Jamie said a year ago. He said a year ago I probably would have kicked her in her other knee. But anything is possible because look, I was out here trying to help carry her to the car. So I thought that was cute, and that is true. We've seen relationships flip on a dime on these reality shows. We've seen it. They had dinner. They ordered pizza and wings. Child, they had Lido's. Lido's probably one of my favorite places to get pizza. I love their calzones. I love their calzones. Anyway, why in the world did they film the reunion so early? I hope the cast got to see all the confessions before they filmed it. I don't know if they did or not, to be honest. Well, I don't know if they did or not. Again, I'm with Don Don. I really think they're only showing these episodes to show because everybody got so upset about not getting the rest of the season. But honestly, I really don't expect the show to come back. And if it does come back, it's not going to look like this. It's going to be I think, if I were Carlos, I'm going to be honest with you. If I were Carlos and I was bringing the show back, the only couple I would bring back would be Urena and Jamie. That's the only couple I will bring back. I think Carlos had it right when he started Huntsville, but he pivoted, and now his other shows suffer because Bold and Bougie isn't even watchable. Child. Jamie was just sitting back. Right. Jamie was, baby, I was cracking up when they panned over to Jamie eating that damn going chicken wing. I was done. I was done. I'm not team nobody. However, I'm with Joy. Then you team Joy. Black and Joy's story is not adding up. It's more to it they not telling. And that's why, and I agree with you on that, Waist Bees by Bree, because I think, and that's why I say that we're never going to get, I don't think we're ever going to get a consensus, because I don't think either one of them are willing to concede anything different from what Joy's perspective is Joy's perspective, Black's perspective is Black's perspective. And to be honest with you guys, taking Love and Marriage DC out of the equation, and we just think about the industry, very seldom, when we look at the music industry, very seldom does the artist and the manager story agree. How many stories have we heard where an artist feels like management took advantage of them, took their money, manipulated, made bad deals, didn't include everybody in the conversation? Like, remember, like, we've heard that story a million times. We've heard that story a million times. So I think, and that's why that's why I'm saying they would have to go really, really deep and involve a lot of other people that aren't here to defend themselves for them to really hash it out. So I don't think they'll be able to hash it out, but I do think that a conversation will help everybody move forward. That's how I feel. Yes, they did see everything in order to film the reunion. Keep in mind, the only thing they see is what's included in the package. True. She's online every week defending herself and calling out production. Like, girl, we don't believe you. We need more people. No, you don't believe her. I believe her. I believe a lot of what Ashley says. I don't believe everything, but I don't believe everything that anybody says. I think because everybody's perception is, perception is reality. I don't believe 100% of anything that anybody says. However, I do believe a lot of what Ashley says. And I'm going to tell you why. Part of the reason why I believe a lot of what Ashley says is, one, because Winter confirms it, and when Ashley is wrong, Winter calls Ashley out. Or when Winter doesn't agree, Winter will say, no, Ashley, I don't remember that. Oh, shoot. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. My charger fell out earlier when I was trying to. Give me a second before my computer goes dead. Hold on. I didn't even realize that my charger had come out the computer. Hold on. Okay. Okie dokie. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. I didn't realize that my charger had come out. It was about to die. On this computer, I don't have a lot of leeway time. When it tells me that the battery is low, I got a few minutes before it die. So that's why I was like, hold on. So that's how I feel about it. Like, I do believe that, because again, when Winter doesn't agree with Ashley, Winter calls Ashley out, or Winter will say, I wasn't there for that, or I don't remember that. Like, so that's why I do believe a lot. And then sometimes, if you pay attention, stuff gets confirmed. If you pay attention, stuff gets confirmed. When you hear other people talking, like, some of what Ashley says ends up getting confirmed. Just like we found out with the Christmas party, because Carmen confirmed it and Winter confirmed it, about not Winter, take Winter out. Carmen confirmed it. Somebody else. But anyway, we know Carmen confirmed, and I know that Carmen and Joy ain't cool no more, but Carmen confirmed the fact that Urena did know Joy was coming to the party, that Joy had changed her mind. She said she wasn't coming. She had changed her mind. So anyway, I ain't gonna go down the whole list, but certain things have been independently confirmed outside of Ashley. And so that's why I'm like, I do believe a lot of what Ashley says as far as production and the way stuff is being edited. Ashley's been saying for months that there was more drama going on than just her and Joy, but production wouldn't put it in there, and we come to find out that that Winter and Urana had a whole Twitter beef the night before they met at Jerry's Seafood when Winter gave them the invitations to go to Deep Creek. That Urana and Joy had a whole conversation before Ashley even got there about them going back and forth on Twitter because of something that happened at the event the night before, and how they were all on Twitter and they had a whole conversation about it, and we never even knew about the conflict, much less didn't see any parts of that conversation. So a lot of what Ashley has said is we found out to be true. And I don't blame her if she feels like she's getting a bad edit. I don't blame her for using her platform to come down here. Everybody else does it. Like, we're not going to be, everybody else does it. Quad did it. Heavenly does it. Hell, Heavenly got a whole YouTube channel that we all watch. So, I don't see where Ashley's wrong for, do I think that she does it a lot? Yes. I want Ashley to get some sleep because she be up at 3 o'clock in the morning tweeting. But I don't blame her for wanting to defend herself, especially when people are constantly coming at her. I don't blame her for defending herself. But that's why I think that she don't need to come back, because everybody can't do reality TV. And I think Ashley's skin is too thin. That's my opinion. And I like Ashley. I do. But I just don't think that she's made for the constant negativity. And it is hard. I don't know if I would be able to do it. Hell, that's why I don't think I would ever want to do reality TV, because I don't know if I would be able to do it. It's a lot. It is a lot. Winter says she ain't coming back. Winter says she is not coming back. According to Ashley, the live episodes look different. I think they get to see a rough cut. Winter was the whooping person for Ashley all the first season, and somehow they got cool enough to stand up for each other. I call Alliance, and I need someone to co-sign. If somebody in the chat can co-sign it. Winter and Ashley are cool, but Winter has no issue calling out. Right, I'm saying, and not only did Winter call out Ashley, but if you go back to that review they did when Carmen was on there, baby, Winter wasn't feeling Carmen, and you could see it. You could see it. You could hear it. Winter, now she wasn't rude or disrespectful to Carmen, but you could tell she was not feeling it, and you could tell she wasn't feeling it. My issue is convo not shown. We don't care. See, that's what you don't care. I do. Let me say this. I don't care about every single conversation they don't show, but I do care when it changes the narrative of a show. I do. Because now that goes back to what we just said about, is this reality TV or is this just a produced show that's lightly scripted? See? You see what I'm saying? It's lightly scripted. I do care. Now, maybe you don't. That's fine. But I do care. All right, let me get back to my notes, y'all, because y'all are really talking, and I want to see what y'all are saying. I think what up, Shade in the City? What up, boo? Child, you ain't late. You a little late, but you ain't late, because I keep stopping to read the comments. Happy birthday! How was your birthday celebration last night, honey? Y'all, everybody drop a happy birthday in the chat for Shade in the City. And listen, you know how y'all can y'all know how I can make it a happy birthday if y'all subscribe. Can one of my mods drop their link in the chat, please? Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Shade in the City. What I don't understand is these women are going on these shows and defending their friends who are not on the show with someone on the show that has happened on for reality years ago. I know, I ain't mad at you. And you lost the hour too? Girl, I'm sure you did. All right, let me get back to these notes. We almost done. I guess I dropped the link. I'm going to let y'all come up and yell at me for a little bit. I've been yelling. Well, I ain't yelling at y'all. But I'm going to let y'all come up if y'all got something to say, honey. All right. So then Terry shows, I wrote that the dinner is dead. And this is why I'm going to come back to that. Y'all, let me come back to the dinner being dead. That's the second time I wrote that in this episode. That's the second time I wrote dinner is dead. That's the second time I wrote it. Y'all let me come back. So Terry shows up, the intuitive healer. Now, it is clear that production wanted to have some sort of intervention to try to bring these couples together. That is so clear. That is so clear. I don't know if Terry was the person to do it, but I guess they chose Terry because Terry had been on the show a couple of times before. People knew who she was. They were comfortable with her. The Pettys didn't know her. But the Tylers and the Silvers knew her already. So It is so clear. Thank you, Don Don. Thank you. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Shade in the City. So it is so clear that that's what that was. Now, here's what I'm not clear about, right? Here's what I'm not clear about. Did production already tell Terry what the rundown was and what was going on the show? Did the Tylers tell Terry what the rundown was and what was going on? And if the Tylers and production gave the rundown on what was going on, then what that says to me is production and the Tylers feel like Joy and Clifton need to take some accountability for what's going on. That's my opinion. Because here's the thing, either two things can be true. I mean, let me get my words together. If we believe that Terry truly is just an intuitive healer and she walked in the door with a clean slate and she felt Joy's energy, then that says a lot. That says a lot. If she really honed in on Joy like that because she felt Joy's energy, that says a lot, y'all. This thing is on my screen. If production told Terry, again, the way that she zeroed in on Joy tells me that production is irritated with Joy. That's what it tells me. For her to zero in on Joy, it tells me that production is kind of over it. If the Tylers gave her the rundown, then that to me says the same thing. I'm sorry, y'all. This thing, okay, there it is. Now, for somebody like me, I'm very skeptical when it comes to people who have these talents. Do I think there are people in this world that have talents? Absolutely. Visions, they can see future, their impact. Like, I believe all of those things exist. I just don't know if everybody who claims that they have that gift, talent, whatever, has the gift or the talent. That is what I'm saying. I don't know if everybody that claim they got it really got it. But do I think that there are people in this world that have it? Absolutely. Absolutely. So, no, Winter didn't invite Terry. Jarena did. According to the show. According to the show. Right? So, if I was Joy, I would feel the same way Joy felt in that moment. See, y'all think that I always be taking Ashley's side over Joy's, but baby, let me tell you something. I would have felt exactly the way Joy felt in that moment. She walked in the door, and again, it was probably edited because I do not believe that Terry only spoke to Joy, but I do believe that the focus was Joy. I do believe the focus was Joy. And she started with Joy's father, which would have pissed me off because if you remember Joy's story from Ready to Love, Joy's mother died when she was younger and her father raised her and her sister. So the minute she came out her mouth about even insinuating that my father was not a present dad, that's where the conversation would have ended for me. Regardless of any of that, that is where the conversation would have ended for me. We're not doing this. You first of all, you don't know me. And like Joy said, I didn't give you permission to feel my energy, much less repeat what you feel. Because again, if it really is truly a gift, and maybe you can't always control what you feel, but you certainly can control what you say. And I have seen people my friend Leo, he's subscribed to the channel. Leo is a psychic. And Leo, I have seen Leo ask people. He said, can I tell you what I'm feeling right now? I have seen him ask people that. You understand what I'm saying? So just because you feel it, don't mean you say it. And I don't remember seeing Joy give her permission to say nothing. And then the minute she came out her mouth talking about my dad, no ma'am. No, we're not doing that. And from that point forward, Joy was defensive. And anything anybody said, if they said white, Joy was going to say black. And let me tell you something. That is part of who I am. That is a part of my personality. Once I'm pissed, I'm not conceding shit to you. I don't give a damn what it is. Somebody could look me dead in my face and be like, well, you do wear glasses, don't you? I'd be like, nope. Once I'm there, once I'm pissed, I don't give a damn what you say. And I'm gonna be illogical. I'll admit it later on. Once I calm down, I'll be like, yeah, I was doing too much. I was just tripping. But in the moment, once I'm pissed, once I'm there, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And I will listen. You could ask me something as simple as that. Do you need glasses to see? No. And you're gonna get a one-word answer. So I understood. Joy had shut down. Joy had absolutely shut down. By the time they got around to Black and the rest of that, so when the lady was like, so are you having problems fitting into this group? When Joy said no, even though it was ridiculous because clearly she was having problems with the group, I ain't gonna say fitting in, but I think, hold on, I wrote it in my notes. I think the lady said, are you struggling in the group? And Joy was like, no. I understood how ridiculous that sounded because clearly you're struggling, Joy. But I would have been Joy in that moment and I would have been like, no. Because I would have been shut. I'm telling y'all, I would have shut all the way down. So I understood 100% in that moment. Oh, damn it. I understood 100% in that moment all of that. But clearly, what up, Dr. Soapy? Mwah! But clearly, Black wants to use this as an opportunity to have the conversation that he's been trying to have with Joy all season or since they started filming or whatever. And so he's going to try to use this as his moment to have the conversation. And I wrote in my notes, Black and Joy have different versions of the same story. Black said, I looked out, I protected you. Joy said, you never protected me, you never had my back, we're not friends. Black was saying, I have pictures of us having good times together. Joy said, we don't even know each other's birthday. We never celebrated no holidays together. So there is no, they're not even, Joy won't even agree that in the 10 years or however many years that they were in the band together that they had good times. Now again, like I just told y'all, I understand because Joy has shut down at that point. Joy has shut down, so I understand it. But the fact that Joy can't even admit, well, you know what, we did have some good time. I wouldn't say we were friends. Black, but yeah, we did have some good times together. The fact that Joy can't even concede that, there's no hope for this conversation in this moment. There may be no hope for the conversation ever, but certainly in this moment, there's no hope for this conversation. None. Do you think this would have ended differently if the psychic were a Black person? No, because I think the way she came in there was messed up. I think the way she was introduced to the group, and I think at least the way it was edited, I don't think that woman could have been Black. That woman could have been purple. I just don't think it would have went well. First, nobody knew that lady was coming. Nobody knew that lady was even coming. That's number one. Number two, well, at least allegedly nobody knew that lady was coming. Number two, when she got in there, it seems like she went straight for Joy. So I honestly, and remember, the whole other half of the group was here for it. The minute she came at Joy and started trying to make Joy the problem, oh, Sherelle, Black, Ashley, and Quick, oh, they was eating that up. Because that's what they've been wanting to see. So they was slurping that up. So, I don't think so. And again, Urena and Jamie, I think, because I do feel like they gave that woman some of this information, I think there's a part of them that wanted Joy to address some of her behavior without them looking like the bad guy. That's my opinion. Right, Stacy, that's what I'm saying. The Tylers didn't say anything either because I think a part of me, this is my opinion, a part of me believes that they wanted the conversation to happen. I don't think they wanted Joy to get attacked. That's not what I'm saying. But I think they wanted, because I think, listen, it's hard being in the middle of two friends fighting. And I think that in that moment, not now, because like I said, now they're in a different place. But in that moment, I think the Tylers were in a really fucked up position. Because they did like the Silvers, and they did like the Pettys, and they were being forced to choose from both sides. And that's a hard place to be. That is a hard place to be. And so, I understand the frustration, and I think they just wanted some resolve. They just wanted some resolve. I think the Tylers just wanted to be in a place where they didn't feel like they had to choose, where they didn't feel like they were being pulled in different directions, where they didn't feel like they couldn't have certain conversations. Because that's the other thing. You know, you can't be in one room talking out the left side of your neck and then go in the next room and talk. You can't do it. And it's a hard, listen, I've been in that position where it wasn't no cameras. So I can only imagine how much extra pressure is involved when there are cameras and when there are cameras there. When you're going to have to, you know, you got to deal with editing and fans' opinion and all of that. So I can only imagine all of the different aspects that went into that. It's a lot. It's a lot. Black and Joy will never agree on the business practices. I think Black wants to be cordial to keep Joy. I think that's what it is. Honestly, I think that Black, first of all right, let me finish up and then I'm going to drop my link. I'm going to give you guys a few minutes if y'all want to come up. So Joy throws out, when Sherelle got upset and said, you know, you accused me of being a side chick, and that's messed up, without even really giving me the opportunity to have the conversation and clear it up or whatever. And Joy was like, well, how did y'all meet? Now, it sounds like they hesitated a little bit with that answer. According to Joy, they were at a gig. Black met Sherelle, took Sherelle home while he had a whole girlfriend. Sherelle says, now listen, y'all know I'm real big on wordplay. Now, Sherelle, I like you, girl, and these are the questions that I want to ask you. I want to give you the opportunity to answer these questions. But let's be clear. Y'all got to listen to what Sherelle said and what she didn't say. What Sherelle said was, you made it seem like I was with him while he still had a girlfriend, and that's not the case. I would never do that. She said, me and him, we never dated. We never had sex. We never did anything inappropriate while he was still in a relationship or before he broke up with his girlfriend. That don't mean y'all didn't know each other. That don't mean y'all wasn't friends. That don't mean that maybe y'all wasn't having inappropriate conversations. You're just saying that y'all didn't go out on a quote-unquote date and y'all didn't have sex. Again, all of that is wordplay and subjective. Because if you're my boyfriend, I have a problem with the fact that I find out that you got this new friend named Sherelle that I don't know about. And all of a sudden, me and you break up, and next thing I know, not only are you with Sherelle, but now y'all done messed around and got married. Oh, I'm side-eyeing that shit. Oh, I'm gonna side-eye it. And if Joy was there the night you met Sherelle, and Joy knows that you had a whole girlfriend, it's not crazy for Joy to feel like you engaged in a relationship with Sherelle before you were clearly out of the other relationship. See, that's what I mean when I say my perception is my reality. If my friend is over here dating you, and I see one night we're at a gig and I see you meet a chick and you end up taking her home, even if nothing ever happened that night, even if nothing inappropriate happened the night you took her home, that's not the point. And then 6 months later, you break up with my friend and you get with Sherelle, baby, that is my opinion of you, and my opinion probably ain't gonna never change. You understand what I'm saying? But that does not mean that it's true. It just means that that's my perception. How long have the Duncans been married? They've been married for a while. They've been together for a while. I don't know the exact year, but I mean, they got a couple of kids. I feel like they said it in the beginning Like when they first came on the show, I feel like they said how long Sherelle and Black been married, but I honestly right now I couldn't begin to tell you. But there's no loyalty in love and war. She won. She married the man. Am I going to review Bamboozle? If I can get through it, DB, let me tell you something. The first episode was alright. The second episode, ugh. The third episode, ugh. So I'll see how I feel about the third episode. Hold on, something. I'm sorry, y'all. All right, let me drop the link. I'm gonna drop the link. So if y'all want to come up and tell me how wrong I am, y'all can come up and tell me. But let me give y'all my synopsis. So that is that pretty much it. Hold on, let me make sure I got all my. I'm gonna drop the link, but let me finish up my notes. And then I'm gonna give y'all my overall point of view, which really is the same as it's been for the last 3 episodes. Um, Unethical business for 10 years. How did y'all meet? Joyce shuts down combo. Okay, yeah, Joyce shuts the conversation down. She said that intuitive is supposed to allow people to share, to be open, and to heal, but Joy won't talk. Because when Sherelle gave when Sherelle was like, you keep saying that I was the side chick, and that's not true, and you won't give me the like, you won't even sit down and have the conversation. Joy was like, so does anybody have anything else to say? Like, Joy was over it. Joy was done. Joy wasn't talking no more. But then she said that the intuitive is supposed to allow people to talk and have open dialogue, da 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 da. But girl, you won't talk. Now again, like I said, I understand. I understand. Um, Hold on, I got a couple of people backstage. Give me a second, y'all. Let me cover up my screen real quick before I bring y'all up here. CC Freak.
What's up?
Hey boo. Gemini Diva.
Hello, hello.
Hey, okay, let me finish my last little synopsis and then I'm gonna let y'all say y'all piece. So, last but not least, this is how I feel about the situation with Love and Marriage DC. At this point, honestly, I feel like if they do bring the show back, like I said, the only couple that should come back is Urena and Jamie because they understand reality TV. They're using it to their advantage. They're willing to play the game. They understand what this is supposed to look like. Um, I think Joy and Clifton should be fired because I have a problem with the fact that they pick and choose what they want to do. I think that Ashley and Quick should be fired because I think that Ashley just doesn't. I just think her skin is too thin. Winter say she not coming back. And the Duncans in the black. The Duncans in the black. The Duncans just weren't given a fair shake and an opportunity, in my opinion, to really flourish on this platform. And at this point, I don't think anybody's interested in their story as a overall. This is my opinion. Overall, um, and I think production. Who if Carlos does bring it back, he needs to find a new production company because I think the production on this is piss poor. Now, CC Freak, say your piece, and then Gemini Diva, you have the floor, my love.
Yeah, this is how I feel. I agree with a lot of what you said, a lot. And after watching this particular episode, I just really got annoyed with how the petties was really. They really showed how the petties were kind of pushing their own narratives. It's just, for example, like Sherelle and Black, they don't have an issue with them. They just want to clear their name. They don't want they don't want to be called home records or bad business deals. But like I said, the business thing, those two will never agree on. Like that's we'll never know the truth about that. I mean, that comes like you said, that comes with anybody in the industry. they're never going to give you the 100% truth. That they may have done some shady dealings and stuff like that, but regardless of what Sherelle may or may not have done, or just she could be like Black could have been lying to her when they first got together. See, people got to think about all that. People do this all the time, and I'm not
And
saying
wouldn't
that's
that have
what
been a
happened.
great conversation?
That's what I'm.
Wouldn't that have made for great TV if Joy and Sherelle sat down and Joy had a conversation with Sherelle and Sherelle had a conversation with Joy and they realized, wait a minute, Black lied to me. So you mean I
Hmm.
was a side chick and I didn't even know? But again, we were robbed of that great TV moment. But go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, but see, that's my problem. My problem is I don't like I said in the comments earlier, I don't like how people can talk about other people that's on this show. Now, if they're not on this show, that's irrelevant. We talking about a cast member that's on this show, and you won't give them the opportunity to rebuttal what you said about them. And I'm pretty sure they would have came. They don't have to come on that rah rah. Just do it kind of like how Black approached her. She was like, he basically was like, look, I don't have a problem with you, but my issue is you called me like you called my girl a side chick and all this other stuff, and she don't even get it. Like I've tried to call you, but you won't give me a time of day to let us clear our name. We don't have to be best friends. I'm not asking to be your friend. I'm just trying to get my name cleared. That's why I said his whole point was to keep my name out your mouth. We can move, we can hang, we can be in the same scenes. We don't have to necessarily talk to each other, but keep my name out your mouth when it comes to everybody else outside of the rooms we are in. And that's pretty much why I was just like I didn't like how when they were trying to explain and Enjoy was like, oh yeah, and that is the truth. And I'm just like, give her a chance to say what she got to, or both of them to say what they got to say. They not coming at you. I could understand if they was coming at you. They're just trying to clear their names. And I just
They were
what I
just
was
trying to
really
have a
bothered by that scene.
conversation. Yeah, they were just trying to have a conversation. Um, two L's. I know they did sit down, but that conversation didn't go nowhere, child. But I agree, you're right. They did talk. Go ahead, Gemini Diva, my love.
Hi, really, Beef. So glad to talk to you. Now, even though I seemed a little off in the comments, I actually agree with you. They both have their issue. They both are wrong, Ashley and Joy. The problem I have with Ashley is she's still, she's not changing. She's still doing the same childish things. And I feel like Joy is just matching energy, which is making it so hard to watch, to enjoy. And it just annoys me. And I agree with CC Freak about the issue with Black and Sherelle. Why is Joy so pressed? I love my homegirls. We've been friends since middle school, but I ain't riding for nobody like that, especially when I'm not in a relationship. So unless they're willing to tell us all of it, she shouldn't be talking about it. Period.
We talking about
And
I
five
that's all
think
I
years
it
got.
just happened a couple of months ago, but we talking
Yeah,
years.
we talked on years. That was my issue. It's like, why are you bringing this on television of something
Exactly.
they've been married for a while? If they just got married maybe like a year ago, okay, maybe I can see you having an issue. But you bringing this up on a television show where a whole bunch of people are watching, and you're basically tarnishing my name,
Hmm.
and
Right.
I
And
don't like that.
well,
And
maybe this is me being naive, but couldn't, now see, the way the Pennies are kind of dictating production, why couldn't Black and Sherelle do the same? They were like, listen, if y'all don't edit that out or stop this narrative she's running with, I'll get my attorneys involved.
well, there's really nothing. It's not that simple. When you sign on to be a reality show, you sign off on things like that. I mean, unless Joy's saying he was an unethical businessman and he did some things to us in the past. That doesn't really rise. I mean, we've seen people be accused of straight up crimes. I mean, look at what Giselle got away with on the Real Housewives of Potomac. I mean, she accused that man of sexual harassment and I mean borderline attempted sexual assault. You know what I'm saying? Borderline. Um, and nobody act like that wasn't an issue. But I agree that. But that's why I say that my issue is with production because it's clear to me, in my opinion, it is clear that production favors Joy and Clifton. Why they favor them, I don't know. I don't know if they feel like they're bringing a lot of eyes to the show because they were on another reality show and they came with a fan base. I'm not sure why. Maybe the Tylers like them. I don't know what it is, but it is clearly. Hold on, y'all. That's my not hold on, but let y'all know my sister and my nephew coming in. But clearly there is. Take your time. Okay, there you go. but clearly there is some sort of bias there for me, from where I sit, and that's why. Hey, hey, come in, Pooh. Hey, hey, Pooh.
Oh,
Say hi to the people.
I got a question for
He's
both of y'all.
shy.
What you
Would
doing?
if Ashley would have never blown up Joy's spot about her
Oh,
being
you
married,
can't. Oh, you
do you
can't
think
see
we would
me.
be in this situation?
Nope.
Your hair. Oh, look at your hair. Love it. It's growing back so good. Don't cut it
I,
again.
I agree with you. We wouldn't be in the situation of Ashley. And then the thing is, then my thing is that apology she
Hold on,
gave
y'all.
just
Hold
made
on.
it worse.
Yeah, I agree with that. If she would have never blew up her spot, regardless of Joy's reasoning, if she wanted to get her wedding special, whatever, I really don't care. The whole point is she told her that, hoping they was building a friendship, and she blew up her spot by telling other people. And like you said, she gave her a half apology, and it just kind of spearheaded its way from there.
Yes. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like the whole incident in the suite. It just bothers me, I understand we can't say we're at work when they get into these conflicts, but I can see why Joy was like, I'm not going nowhere. If production said I gotta be
Hmm.
here 30 minutes to get my check, I'm not going. And the part that baffles me is how Ashley gonna run up on Clifton, but somehow he's aggressive with her. The one thing my husband always tells me when we're places like that, all he gotta do is look at me. And that's my sign to back down. That's what he's there for. So that's the part. And then the fact that Quick wants everyone to jump in and help. If your wife ain't and ran up on that grown man, she wouldn't have needed help.
Yeah, that situation, people gonna see it two different ways. Like I see the one side is okay, they're telling me I got to come to work, so let me film this scene. Well, the way I would have saw it, I would have been like, we said our piece, and if she said I gotta go, I would have just left because I've done my job already. I'm gonna get my check. You know
But
that.
Sorry about that, y'all. My
look,
bad.
that's the Gemini side of me. Oh, you ain't gonna tell me nothing. I'm not here for if you don't like me, oh, I'm gonna sit in your face and make you hate me even more. I'm gonna drink your drink. I'm gonna kiki with everybody there. I'm gonna say hi to everybody in the room, and I'm twirling around the room dancing while you over there seething. That's the energy I give when I know somebody don't like me. So
Yeah. See, I would have gave that energy at the next event, the next cast event, because I'm pretty sure they own that spot. I ain't gonna disrespect nobody's spot like that. Just kind of like it's just like the scene where it's like I see Ashley's side. Yes, Ashley does a lot of things very, very childishly, and that's the stuff I don't agree with. Like I hate it when she keeps saying
That's so
you taking
silly.
their side when she's basically saying I don't like this about the Petties, and I don't like this about what y'all doing. But it seems like every time she say that part, it's like
You
Ashley's
really
not
do think
hearing it.
that you like still short.
She's
because
like
she
she
doesn't
think
believe she did anything wrong, and that's the part that's got me baffled. I mean, goodness gracious, if she would have sat in one of the confessionals and been like, "Yeah, I was on 20," but or at least so some type of contrition, maybe other of us be feeling bad for her. But she get in the confessional, she double down, she plays obtuse, and I get it. That's her husband. He supposed to rock with her right, wrong, or indifferent. But believe me, Quick, ain't nobody scared of you. You my height. I'm about 5'4" myself. I could take you out. So for you to think you're gonna run up on Clifton, bad back and all, do stop. Only person is you
I'm gonna be
scared of is
real.
Ashley.
I'm gonna
Be
be real.
real.
Clifton seemed like he ain't one of them fighter types, but he seemed like one of those types. If he was pushed enough, he will do what he need to do. And
Right. No, he
I
looks
don't
like the
think
type
that's
that's
gonna
gonna
be good
black
for
out.
anybody.
Right. He's the type that's gonna black out. And when he come to, the ambulance gonna be taking you away and he on the corner in handcuffs.
Yeah, so I think Quit need to chill out with that, and that's another thing. I just hope. Well, it's not going. It doesn't matter at this point because neither one of them talk to each other. But they should have had a conversation. Just kind of been like, this was my side, or even if okay, if I was Clifton, because I was watching. I always try to take everybody's perspective. If I was
Mhm.
Clifton, this is one of those apologies where I said, if I made your wife feel that way, then I apologize. But that was not my intention.
Right, but Quick didn't call him like that. Quick called him on a I'm checking you. And again, I'm sorry, I'm married to a Pisces whose petty energy is just as well as mine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my husband is probably worse than Marcel.
Oh
He
gosh.
says some of those. So just imagine us double teaming you when we both IDGAF. So my husband would have taken something like that and been like, all right, then jump. let me go ahead and get you a stool so you can say it to my face type stuff. That's my husband.
I was
So
telling really B, I was telling Gemini, I was basically saying if Clifton would have came with the when he talked to Quick, it'd have been like, if I'm, or even Ashley, if I made you feel that way, then I'm sorry, but that was not my intent. I was just kind of repeating what you were saying. Do you think we would be at a whole different position now?
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm back. I apologize. I'm back. I'm back. First of all, it was so funny, y'all. My nephew was reading y'all's names, and you know he got to your name, CC Freak, and he was like, "Look at that name. Look at that name." I said, "Yeah, don't say that name." My apologies. Thank y'all for holding it down, y'all, while I took care of that. My apologies. Um, so you were asking, the first question you asked was about Joy and the wedding special. Is that what you were asking about, the wedding
Oh, I was
special?
just saying. My first question was if if Ashley never blew up Joy's spot about being married and just pretty much ruined all her plans, do you even think we would be here?
No, no. Mm-mm. I think that I think so. Here's the thing. And somebody said this earlier. It might have been you, Gemini Diva. I'm not sure if it was you or somebody else. But here's the problem. Joy and Ashley have a lot of the same personality, and from the point of
Yep.
view of once they're done, they're done. And once they feel like you have crossed the line, there's no crossing back over. And that is why we are at a stalemate right now. And that's why I say that neither one of them need to be on reality TV, because there's an element that you have to be able to do that on reality TV. Look at look at the scenarios that we've gone through on reality TV
I
when
mean, just
some
look
people
at
have done
Kenya
some of the
and
right.
look
They
at
said
Kenya
some of
and
the
Nene.
nastiest things about each other. They done called each other all kinds of whatever, whatever. They done talked about their family, their kids, and they found a way to go to lunch and make up and move on. That is why everybody can't do reality TV, because if you can't move forward, if you can't have the conflict and move past the conflict, then it just makes for a bad show. So once Ashley exposed the wedding plot, Joy and Clifton didn't know how to pivot from that.
No.
And I feel like had they pivoted from it, I mean, be mad, go through all of those emotions, be mad, right? But then once you get over being mad, I feel like you could have sat down with the Tylers. Y'all could have had a conversation with the Tylers about why y'all decided to keep it a secret, whether it was true or not. We don't need to know the truth. Hell, we don't know the truth about half the people's lives on this show. They tell us what they want us to know. You could have came up with a whole story about why y'all decided that y'all were going to keep it secret, and when they were going to, like, well, we were planning on letting our family know, and this is that and that is that, and she ruined all of that. But okay, we're still going to go forward with our wedding. We're still going to do what we were planning to do. And guess
Exactly.
what? They could have kept
right.
going with their storyline. But the problem was Joy and Clifton didn't know how to pivot, and I feel like Jamie and Urena would have been able to help them pivot that moment. So do I think we would be here had that not happened? No, but it could have been salvaged. But because Joy and Clifton didn't know how to pivot, and um because remember, Ashley did apologize. And again, this is the part that people don't want to look at. Ashley did apologize, and Joy was like she didn't think it was sincere and she wasn't ready to accept it. Again, you don't have that luxury when it comes to reality TV. You have to at some point accept it. Now you can be like, hell nah, I ain't ready to accept it. You really hurt me. You really pissed me off. You really like you know our family didn't know. You put us in a bad spot. You can go through all of that, but when you get to the end, at some point you got to be ready to move on. And I feel like that is what production wanted with the basketball game situation, which is why they only wanted the four of them there. Because I think production was trying to force that moment. Well, not the four, the six of them, but I think production was trying to force that moment so that the basketball game, I think, was supposed to be the pivot onto the next storyline.
It
You
was like
understand
the
what I'm
final
saying?
thing.
But the fact that
Right.
they got into that whole, that whole fight at the game, it continued to prolong it. So I don't know. Like I feel like it could have been salvaged, but again, I do feel like production, and that's why I feel like this isn't a great production company, because I feel like production should have forced that. Production could have forced Joy. Like I would have loved to see a scene with Joy, Urena, and Ashley, where Urana tries to play peacemaker. When Black went to Cliff and tried to talk to Cliff, and Cliff was like, "Nah, man, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm not y'all. I'm not the in between. I ain't. I'm not the go between. But why not? Black is coming to you as a man because he has an issue with your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mhm.
if Black had not ran up, but if Black had approached Joy
It would have been a
without being
problem.
around Cliff, then everybody would be like, "Oh, that was effed up. You don't know man talk to another man's wife like that. He should have went to Cliff." Well, he went to Cliff, and Cliff shut it down. So the thing is, where do we pivot?
And I think that's what Jamie and Urena was trying to do at the ski
They
session,
were they were.
because they were basically telling you this is what happened from our eyes. And if I was Clifton, this is why I was asking this question. If Clifton would have approached Ashley when they were all together and been like, "Well, Ashley, it's come to my attention that I made you feel this way. And if I made you feel this way, then I am sorry. But that was never my intention. I was just sort of matching your energy, and I
Right.
would never want to do anything to harm you." Do you think this would have been totally different if he would have just came at that approach?
I think
Uh,
by the time we got to the ski trip, I just think it was too far gone. And that's where I say where Ashley has to either learn how to let stuff go or she's not good for the show. I think had they been forced to have the conversation before the ski trip, like Ashley said she would do. Remember, Ashley said she would talk to Joy before the trip, and they said they just couldn't. Urana said they just couldn't make it happen. They just couldn't. I don't know if everybody just couldn't coordinate their schedules or whatever the situation was. But again, um, I just feel like there was a point of no return for this cast, and that's just how that's where I am with it now. That's how I feel about it. I feel like we're at a point of no return. I don't feel like this set of people can move forward. I just don't think it
And
can
it's
happen.
and it's just like that scene when they was all eating and everybody was quiet. If I was one of those couples, I would have pulled out one of those great reality TV tricks where we play a game or something like that. We
But
play a
see,
game where everybody interacts with each other. Like, I know it's tired and all, but we would play the sex game, where we talk about different positions, blah blah blah, all that other stuff that they do. But everybody be laughing though.
but see,
I don't
that's
think that was
why.
gonna work. It's way too gone. Can you imagine Ashley and Flick sitting there? The man
Right.
didn't even want to give. The man was adapt.
Yeah, that's true.
But
That's
see,
true.
He was.
that's why. But see, that's why. And I put that in my notes, and I forgot to go back to it. But that's why I wrote in my notes twice a dead dinner. When you're doing reality TV, and I know let's go back to Potomac last week. I mean, it seemed like all them hoes did was eat, but at every dinner
They
there
had
was a
great conversation.
conversation, right?
Yes.
They were forced to talk about something, whether production put the little bird in their ear or they just threw it out there knowing
They
it was going
actually
to
did
cause
their
an
job.
issue.
They actually showed
They
up to
did
work.
their job. So the fact that we had two full dinners where the presence of one couple, and I'm not blaming it all on Joy and Clifton, I'm saying the fact that they were the ones that weren't there when they came in the room, it stopped. When they were talking before Joy and Clifton showed up, Joy and Clifton showed up, and it ended everything, and the rest, it was a dead dinner. Production couldn't even give us nothing else. And then after Winter hurt her leg and they decided they were going to order, because I feel like they was going to cook dinner or something, but they ordered wings and pizza. Literally, they were sitting there eating wings and pizza. When have you ever been on a group trip and you couldn't get people to have a conversation about nothing?
Yeah, because
Nothing.
they
They
even
could
did
have
that at
said,
Monique house when they had wings and pizza or whatever.
right, they could have said, the fact that all of them are from DC, well, most of them are from DC, and they have something in common. Like, they could have started talking about their childhood. They could have been like, yeah, so they could have got Jamie to be like, yeah, so where everybody go to high school? And then they could have started talking about their high school. They're all in the same age. I'm talking about somebody who grew up in DC. They're all in the same age group. Do you know how many conversations you could have that don't have? They don't have to talk about sex. They don't have to talk about nothing controversial. They
They
could have
could
been like,
even
they could have talked about the Turkey Bowl here in DC. Every day on Christmas Day, I mean on Thanksgiving Day, there's a championship. The citywide football championship is played every Thanksgiving. They call it the Turkey Bowl. Everybody has been to the Turkey Bowl, whether your high school went to the championship or not. You could have talked about the Turkey Bowl. You could have talked about Go-Go. Black is a manager. Jamie is in entertainment. Everybody grew up in DC, went to the go-go. If you were in my age group, you could have talked about different landmarks. Hell, y'all could have talked about Marion Barry, Chuck Brown. Like there was, you could have thrown out anything to start a conversation.
They could
But
have
the
even
fact
had the infamous Baltimore versus DC dispute.
they could have had, right, because you got Ashley. That's Ashley a quick from Baltimore. You're absolutely correct. You could have had that whole conversation, but there was so many things that production could have thrown out to force them to at least have a damn dinner conversation. The fact that we had two dinners where you could hear a pin drop, that is how you
That was
know that
disturbing.
this cast ain't this, and it's not working. And that's why I'm saying I just feel like if they are going to bring the show back, which I just don't think they are, but if they are going to bring the show back, I feel like, in my opinion, the only people they need to bring back is Jamie and Urena, because Jamie and Urena get it.
Yep. And I feel
Even
like
though Jamie does too much sometimes, I know he can go back and forth online or whatever, but he ain't no I mean, some people might say he does too much, but he ain't no different than some of these other people that be clapping back. I mean, he does a lot sometimes, but let's not act like that's his regular. Like, he's done it a few times in the 3 years that this show has been on. Yeah, and I know he went back and forth with Color Me Pink, and that's my, that's my YouTuber, so my YouTube sister, so I defended her, but he gets it though. Him and Urena, they get it. They promote the show. They post the show. They will do interviews. They know how to promote their own products. They know how to promote their own thing they have going on. Like, they get it. So if anything, if I were Carlos, because Carlos said he's gonna fly down here and he's gonna talk to the cast. I don't think he is, only because I don't think the show's coming back. If the show is coming back, he will. When Carlos
Carlos is
flies
too
down
busy
here,
on his road show. He is not thinking about them. I saw the flyers that he's going to be here in Atlanta, I think, with Tamar
yeah,
at
he's
the
coming to
Roxy or
DC
City
Mother's Day. I
Winery.
think. Well, he's coming to DC Mother's Day, and he's gonna have the cast of the women of Love and Marriage DC. I got my ticket. I'm going. I think if he's going to bring the show back, I think that's when he'll meet with the cast. If
Yeah,
he's going
because
to
it's
bring the
something
show
that has
back.
to be done. Because it's too much division. Like it almost like you said it. We already know Winter. She already pretty much tapped out. She done.
And Winter says she's not coming back.
Yeah. She said she's not coming back. That's
She
why
said
she
she's
is
not coming
letting
back.
all her information out. Like,
Yeah.
but Ashley, I feel like they're on the verge at the Silvers. I feel like they're on the verge of leaving because they're just tired.
I think Ashley wants to come back. I think she goes back and forth. I think depending on what day of the week you ask her.
Hmm.
I think she
Well,
goes back and forth.
her Twitter rant shows that she's done because she was tweeting up a storm after that second episode. And she was like, I quit because they're not showing the real. They're cutting stuff up, and this is not me. And I'm just reading all her Twitter stuff like, girl, stop.
Well, Carlos, when they interviewed Carlos when her and Winter interviewed Carlos, Carlos said that. He said that Ashley and Winter both do too much when it comes to Twitter, and that he has asked them that he wants them to chill out. He has said that, so you could tell that he's a little irritated. But again, in my opinion, I think if it comes back, it's gonna be a total reboot. That's my opinion. But I'm not. I don't know if they're coming back.
I just think it was the biggest mistake to film the reunion so early. Now, see, if we were like
Yes.
we can tell we were about to wind down with the show, we should have been filming like this week because everybody would have already seen everybody's confessional, so they can rebuttal all that stuff. I just feel like even if they've seen the episodes, I don't think those confessionals was on there, so they can't rebuttal what people are saying. Like that's one thing about the Bravo shows. From my understanding, when Candy was telling us on Speak on It, they get the last 5 episodes to watch before they do the reunion, so they
Yeah,
can.
but that's on Bravo. That don't mean that they saw it, because remember they didn't see it last year when they did the was it one of them Carlos shows? I don't know if it was Bell Collective, Love and Marriage, Huntsville, whatever. That's on Bravo. They get the whole season. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I want to say that I feel like, and it might have been Love and Marriage DC. They did the reunion before they had seen the whole season, and maybe I may be thinking about a whole different show. But I know that there are Bravo. They get to see the whole season. They get the last episodes before the reunion. But I know for a fact that I've looked at people who said that, and it might not be Carlos. It might be Love and Hip Hop or something. But there
Because
are
I know Ashley
situations.
said that she has not seen these episodes, So that's why I'm like, how y'all gonna have a reunion and they
Child,
don't
the
even have a
reunion was in
chance?
August. It's been almost a year since the damn reunion.
That's what I
Right.
like. Whose
And the
idea
fact
was
that
it to
they haven't
make the
even
reunion this
started
early?
filming, the fact that they have, that just tells me that they're not. I just don't think they're coming back.
I agree. Because even Marcel and Tisha said they didn't see all the episodes either
So
when
maybe
they
I'm
filmed
talking
the
about
reunion.
Huntsville. Yeah, I may be talking
Right.
about, but I know on Bravo they do, but I don't think they do. Let me tell you something. I honestly, this is my opinion. I feel like they're only giving us the rest of the season because so many people complained about that. But I don't think there's any. I don't think that. I mean, look at Huntsville. They ever stop filming?
They just started
Starting
already,
now.
and that's the weird part. It's like we
Right.
had
I
the
think
first
Huntsville
season.
gets like 2 or 3 week breaks in between, and then they go right back to filming. And then on the flip side, on the total flip side, it has been a year. Ashley said that they filmed those last episodes last March. It has been a year.
It's crazy because this show was originally like this show had a lot of buzz because
What's not true, Don Don?
a lot of people did like Monique. Some people didn't, of course, but some people did, and that's pretty much what drew people to the show. And then she left second season, and we still decided to tune in because it's still a good product. But then
Mm-hmm.
we took that break. We ended up getting a brand new season of Huntsville. They took the first half off. We got Detroit, and I was thinking, okay, maybe we'll get DC after that. Then we went back to Huntsville, and now we're back here. And I'm like, why? Like we used to keep asking, where the heck is the rest of DC at? Where the heck? And then we heard it, like you said, in August that they filmed the reunion. And I'm thinking to myself, how y'all film the reunion? We ain't seen the rest of the episodes yet. I can understand if we was like a month away from after they filmed the reunion. But we talking months here. Like whose idea? Like Carlos claimed that wasn't his idea. I watched the interview with him and Richie Sky, and he claimed that's not what he wanted. But you never know. He could be protecting himself. I'm not.
What's not what he wanted?
That he didn't want the show to come out this late. It should have been came out. He said he's
He
not in
said
charge
that
of that.
he blamed it on he blamed it on
Oh,
oh yeah, he blamed it on own. He said, well, I don't own the network. I'm like, but you get to do whatever you want with the rest of your show.
that's kind of like
The
I was
fact
like
that
I
Bell
don't know if I can
Collective
one
left
hundred
and came
percent.
back, like, come on now,
Yeah,
Bell Collective came back before y'all did. Like, stop playing with me.
it's just something about the scheduling. It's almost like they set to fail. You know.
Yeah, because he even did a whole that whole Bold and Bougie all before this even
Hmm.
premiered. Because they had the show here in Atlanta where they did the preview.
I just something ain't right about it. It's just like and once again, once we'll never know the truth behind why Monique left because he got his story, she got hers, and it's just some truth in the middle and whatever. But it's just something about how this show was produced. It's just kind of got my antennas up.
Yeah, the
Well,
fact that
I like I
Carlos spent so
said,
much time talking about Bravo definitely got my antennas up too. Because it's like, dude, you spend so much time talking about Bravo. Why aren't you on your shows? Just like what happened to the Preacher Show. Didn't he have a Preacher Show a while ago?
Grown to
I haven't
Gospel.
heard a thing about that one.
Grown to Gospel. Hold on, Don Don. Hold on. I'm sorry, I ain't see you back there, babe. Give me a second.
Well, actually, I have to drop off. I don't know if you guys can hear. I'm in
Oh,
my car. I have to pick
Okay,
my
I'm gonna
daughter
let
up from
Don
work.
Don. Thank you, Boo. Thank you for coming up. And look, we can disagree, and I love you, Boo.
Yeah.
I know. Just remember, you still my reality TV show maven. We both applied for Real World Boston. Remember?
That's right. We sure did. Don Don, do you want to be on camera?
Uh-uh.
Okay. All right, babe. Thank you. Now I'm gonna let Don Don say his piece, and then I'm gonna wrap it up anyway. What up,
cool.
Don Don? Hey, Boo.
What it do, what it do, what it do.
I gotta get
Happy
ready to watch
Sunday.
this basketball game. So yeah.
Oh, child, oh, child, oh, child.
LSU, look, LSU versus South Carolina State. Hey, but go ahead.
Baby. Okay, listen. So I want to say this. Like, and it was either Instagram or Twitter. Ashley stated that once y'all see the last 10 episodes, y'all will see that I'm painted as the villain, right? This was before they filmed the reunion in her
Interesting.
first rant.
Well, she said the same thing when they were filming the reunion. After they filmed the reunion, she said the same thing. She said it, basically it's clear, with at the reunion, it's clear that I'm getting the villain edit. She said that. She
Right.
said that.
That tells me that they possibly seen the rest of the
Oh, I
episodes.
see what you're saying. Right. For her to say that means she saw it. Yeah, I got
Right.
you. I got you.
So that's why I say to me it seems like that they've seen it, but I don't think a lot of times that they. I think the cast blames it on production to not let them see the episode when they really don't want to see the episode. Like, let's keep it real. You know what you gave the cameras. You know what you filmed.
See, I
You know
agree
what the
with you.
possibilities.
But you don't know how they're gonna edit it. Yeah, you
Yeah,
know
I
what
agree
you
with that, but I'm
filmed.
just saying, you know the possibilities of what could possibly happen. So a lot of times they don't want to watch them episodes. Let's keep it real.
I agree with you about seeing episodes, but I just feel like some of those confessionals, because they wear so many different outfits in those confessionals, I feel like a lot of those was filmed later. And by the time the real episode comes in, they've added those parts in.
Yes, that part, yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Because they film sometimes they film confessionals way, way late. I know like Huntsville, some like when they were filming their reunion, they was filming some of their confessionals
Yeah, and that's
for
on
the
most
prior
reality
season.
shows. They film
So
those confessionals late. Yeah, they do that.
yeah.
Because you can tell, even on the Bravo shows, the beginning you might get like three different confessionals, but then mid-season they got a whole different outfits, different hair, and all that. Like even on Potomac, Robin had a whole different look that she actually looked good in one of her confessionals, and and you could tell like, but that was never at the beginning of the show, so you could tell they already filmed those late.
The power of editing, honey.
Hmm.
Child, ain't it the power? Ain't it a
It's
powerful
done on
tool?
purpose. It's done on purpose, honey.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, okay, y'all. So my homework assignment is I'm gonna reach out to Sherelle and see if she'll do an interview. But I'm definitely gonna watch their review,
Oh,
That's
Ashley
gonna be
and
good.
Winter's review. Y'all know I definitely want to watch it, and if it's something worth coming back talking about, we're gonna come back and talk about it.
'Cause if
We'll
it's
be
anything
back
like last
tonight,
week, the way Color Me Pink's face looked every time Ashley says, I mean Ashley Winter said something.
baby. That thing was funny to
um,
me.
I want you to ask this question.
What's up?
When you talk to Sherelle,
If I talk to
Yeah, but no,
Sherelle.
he
if
put it
you
out there
talk
in
to,
the universe. He already put it out there in the universe.
yeah, I'm
So
You're
trying to
right. I
put it
said I
out
was gonna
there.
stop doing that. I said I was gonna stop doing that. Okay, when
And
I
you
talk to
got me
Sherelle.
repeating it. No, that's not what we're doing. Okay. So when you talk to Sherelle, I really want to know prior to them uh announcing or even filming season two, right? This is probably when Monique had first put out that thing or whatever happened, child. You know, we all have our own perspective of what happened. But um she went on a Twitter rant herself and it's given she was talking about Monique and Joy. But I would like to know, I'll send you the screenshots and
Yeah, send me the
you
screenshot.
you'll know like she's talking about it's giving me she's
interesting.
talking about both of them.
Yeah, send me the screenshots because I'm not familiar.
Yes, that's a question I have for her. Other than that, I don't really care. I'll be here
I,
to support.
well, okay. I appreciate it. The only reason why after this episode, I really want to hear what Sherelle got to say. I want to hear what is Black's perspective on what happened with him and Joy, and what is her version of the origin story of her and Black. It doesn't make it true, but I want to hear it because we haven't heard it.
That's
And
true.
that's my problem because I feel like Joy is purposely not making it happen.
She is purposely. Now, I know that we did, like I said, we did get the meeting with Sherelle and Joy, but that was over within the first 5 minutes because I think both of them was on one. I'm not gonna put that on one or the other. I think both of them was on 100 for that meeting. If I remember, again, it was a year ago, so if I remember it correctly, I feel like they was both on 100.
And can I say
Yeah,
something else too?
you can, boo.
I'm gonna try to say this without getting really activated.
Uh oh.
Uh-oh.
One of the things that I am really tired of seeing, and you've mentioned it, everybody has mentioned it in the chat, but I have to reiterate it, especially creating my own shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
One thing I do not like is not being able to move on from a conflict and you creating these rules or these boundaries that you won't film with this person, you won't film with this person. Let's just go back to season 5 of Real Housewives of Atlanta when Kim didn't want to do certain things. Them girls banded together and like you're not about to play on our top. Like we're not
Kicked her
doing
off the
that.
island.
It really makes it for a lazy show. It makes production look lazy It makes the cast look lazy. This is the same thing that I keep saying about Giselle. This is why I cannot get into Potomac at all because, girl, you are the problem. Like, I just don't understand why you don't want to do your job and move on and keep a productive show going so you can keep your check flowing.
Well, that's why this
I think
season has been
she got away with it so for so long, and I
right.
think it all started since season 5. And I don't think she's ever been held accountable for her actions. And then people finally started telling her about herself in the cast, not the production, because production for some reason loves her, except for this season.
Because
And
she's gotten away with this. So if we go, and I'm not rehashing the fight. I'm not rehashing the fight. I am not rehashing
mhm.
the fight. But if we go back to season 5 after the fight,
Yeah, as after the
for the
fight, we ain't
exception,
talking about that's what I'm bringing
right,
up.
for the exception of Karen, which is why she got so mad at Karen last week, and I said that in my review. For the exception of Karen, Giselle was successful with icing Monique out. Remember, well, and I should say Ashley, because there was a scene where Monique had a birthday party for Chase. Karen and Ashley were the only two that showed up for the birthday
Hmm.
party. They actually filmed it, but then they cut it from the episode when I guess they were punishing Monique for the fight. But the fact that the birthday party happened after the fight, and so the fact that Giselle, like you said, not only was she allowed to do it, but she got away with doing it.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And then moving forward, she was always able to manipulate the people, and the people she couldn't manipulate is who became her target.
See, what people fail to realize is this reality friendships are a numbers game. And basically, Giselle is trying to ally all the people on her side. But since she can't get Karen, it's going to be very difficult for her to get Wendy and Candace off the show. All she can do is not speak or film or act like they don't exist. But she is trying to sway. That's why they get so upset with Karen, because Karen is like, no, I not only do I like these people, but I have a job and we are an ensemble cast. Everybody plays their role. You cannot just kick somebody off just because they told you about yourself.
Right.
I mean,
You're
they
not
say
gonna
that in so
bully
many
me.
words without breaking the fourth wall.
Exactly. And that's exactly what she said. And that's what that conversation, when they were sitting in that hot tub last week, that is what that conversation was. If you read between the lines, Giselle wasn't mad about Karen not defending her daughter. Giselle was mad that Karen did not align with her.
Hmm.
And
Yep.
Karen told her, Giselle, I ain't doing that. Like, she wasn't talking about your damn daughter. It was not an attack on Grace, and I'm not getting ready to do that. And that's what she was like. Well, I just feel like, when they're talking about me behind my back, you're gonna let them. Karen was like, girl, what are you talking about?
And that's why I like Kiana. I know we switching subjects, but that's why I like Kiana
I was
because
about to say.
cause Kiana, like they tried to browbeat her because about some. So when you're around her, do they bring her up? And she was like, no, we don't even talk about y'all. The only thing that she kind of talked about is how she's aggravated with the whole NECA situation, and then she's mad with NECA about the when she was like, don't be stirring the pots and all that stuff. It's like, shoot, this pot been stirred, threw up, all that other stuff. Like it's over and done with, you know. It's just I didn't like that. I'm glad that she had a mind of her own and she was like, I know them and I know y'all and we can coexist. I don't you can't tell me who I can and can't. It's the numbers game. They're trying to get more people on their side.
I agree. I agree.
I just personally, I just feel like, well, not personally. I can say from a viewer's perspective, it gets super frustrating to the audience when people don't want to clock in and work and do their
Nope.
job. And this is why I feel like I agree partially with Heavenly when she say, and I know I'm just giving examples. I'm sorry, y'all,
Hmm.
but when she says that she has had to clock in and look like a certain type of person because she coming in to do a job, I just feel like everybody needs to do their job if you want to continue to get paid.
And that's the thing about Heavenly. Like I've dealt with Heavenly for so long that I don't get mad at her ignorance because she knows her role. She knows that she's going to be that villain that she knows she's going to say something crazy and outlandish. That's what she's been doing for 10 years at this point. So
Period.
like it's not going to change. Like that's why the network will keep her around because she brings ratings regardless. She knows her. That's why she wanted to bring Quad on the show. That's why she wanted to bring Sweet Tea on the show. She knew it was going to be everybody was going to get a check out of this.
Yep. She very smart and
Hmm.
But that's what I say about Joy and them, like not wanting to film with your cast and your crew. It does put a divide in. It really do. So that's why I agree with you, really, B, when you said Jamie and Arena is like in a tough place because they trying to figure out on both ends, you know,
How to keep the
where to
show
go and
going.
how to
The
keep it
thing
going.
is,
Yep.
we on our second season. This ain't even the third season. This is still the second season, and we already got a 10-year divide type situation. Like
Yes,
that,
I
it
was
should not.
saying
We too
that.
early. This show has been on too early for them to be divided like this.
I agree. I totally agree. I said that.
And that's why I'm saying that that's why I'm saying that this version of the show, it can't survive. This version, unless Carlos can turn a miracle, the only way that this version of the show survives is if Carlos really can sit down with them and really get them to sit down, hash it out, and move forward. Not be friends, but be able to film, be able to have conversations, be able to interact with each other to create moments to give the viewer something. If they can't agree to that, then I'm sorry. Everybody need to go except for Urena and Jamie, and we need to just start fucking over. I'm sorry. That's
Like
my opinion.
I'm about to
I
bring up
actually
the
agree
past
with that
again.
anyway.
I'm about to bring up the past again, but this is why season 9 of Real Housewives of Atlanta, when that stuff happened about the Phaedra and Portia stuff on it, and Portia was the only survivor of the two that was involved in that situation. Portia went from not being able to really talk to anybody at the beginning of season 10 to already pretty much reconnecting with everybody by the end of the season and having the seat by Andy. And by the end of the season, she was back in the circle. This is how you, like you said, this is how you pivot.
Right. But we
And
have to see it. Right. And
yes,
and let me say this too. We need to see that. Like
mm-hmm.
Yep.
if Carlos is successful with being able to talk to them and getting them, we need to see it. Not so much their conversation with Carlos, but now when we pick up a camera, and Don, you can speak from behind the lens perspective. When we pick up the camera, we need to recreate that. Not them working through it, but we need to have a conversation. We need to film Joy and Ashley coming together. Let Urena be the mediator, whether it's real or reenacted. We as the viewers need to see it because it has gotten so toxic and it
Mm-hmm.
has gone so far that
Hmm.
what you cannot do is give us a season 3, season 4, whatever the hell they're gonna call it, and everybody's kumbaya. No ma'am. No ma'am.
Nah, we can't do that.
Nope.
We gotta
No
see.
ma'am.
That's
Not
the
with
whole
them.
point. Is we don't mind drama. We really don't mind drama, but we need resolution for the drama.
I'm
Like
gonna
But
tell you what I would
but
do
there's a
if I were
pattern of this.
production. Go ahead. I'm sorry, boo.
I was just saying there's a pattern of this. Like Bell Collective, it's the same thing. Marie with Latrice, same thing. It is something. It's a cycle. It's a repetitive cycle that Carlos, for some reason, likes, and I don't understand what it is.
he like
I don't
messiness. Let's
really.
just feel like
It,
I just think he like mess because when I watched that reunion, the Bell Collective reunion, I just really felt like he was Team Marie and Letitia,
yes,
and
he do it.
I
He
didn't
got a
agree.
pattern of it.
And it's not that I agree with everything Latrice does because there's some things I don't like about Latrice, but at the same time, when it comes to certain stuff, like I just didn't like the fact that uh her and So Gucci was going through what they was going through when I clearly could see So Gucci was pushing the narrative, and I just didn't like that.
Child, that whole so Gucci. Don't even get me started with so Gucci. But if our production, if this were me and our production, the way I would start off whatever the next season is, like I said, I don't know if it's gonna be season 3 or season 4, but the way I would start off the next season, I would start it off with a girls trip. Leave the guys at home. It would be a mandatory Joy, Urena, Sherelle, Winter, Ashley. Mandatory.
And I
And I
don't care
probably would
how
even
you gotta do it.
and
Hmm.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. And somebody said this in the chat earlier. I might even bring in Dr. Francis.
I
They
said that
need
earlier.
that was
Yes,
I said
you.
that
that in
is
the
a good
comments.
They need to
idea.
have a
That is a good
professional
idea.
I said
therapist
I
and
said
let
on the
us
comments. I
see
said
them work through it. But that is how I would start the season off. I would start the season off with a girls trip, and they don't even. I mean, and when I say a girls trip, they ain't gotta go nowhere. Hell, they can go
it's a
back down to
retreat.
Hidden Creek for all I care. They don't have to go nowhere, but they can get an Airbnb somewhere on Capitol Hill. I don't give a damn.
You know
But
what?
they need to be somewhere where where it's just them and a therapist, and they need to be forced Not all, and I mean, and again, I would rotate the groups. I would have a session where it would be just Winter and Urana. I would have a session where it would be Ashley and Urana. I would have a session with, like, I would rotate it around, and then I would have a big group, and then we can all go to hell home. Let it be an overnight thing, so the ladies can maybe have like a little sleepover, maybe a pajama party, do something fun, maybe make hot chocolate, sit around and talk about bullshit. Again, it don't have to be heavy the whole night. The next morning, have them have a brunch. Let the therapist come in and have a final, I'm so glad we worked through this. This is what we agreed to moving forward. Everybody go home, and then we can start off the season. That,
To
if I'm
piggyback off of
production,
you,
that's what I do.
seeing as though they live in the DC area, they could have like a Airbnb over in Ocean City somewhere, or like
They can go
Rehoboth
down to the
Beach.
harbor. They can
Yeah.
go. They can go down to the harbor and get an Airbnb down at the harbor.
Oh my God. I don't know who this is in the comments, but I was literally just about to say something about y'all. I'm gonna fix my life
Yeah,
anyway.
child,
But
listen, bring
I
everybody
said
out.
I said in the comments earlier before, way when we was talking about when they brought in Terry, I said they should have got Dr. Francis bump Terry.
Yeah,
Because first of all, not everybody's going to believe in that psychic stuff, like you said. Whereas you got a licensed marriage counselor that pretty much when you see his results on Love and Marriage Huntsville, and you notice that Tiffany didn't really apply to that, and then she's in the issues that she's in now because once again she felt like the target, kind of like Joy did.
and see, I agree. Dollface said Candy realized she had to forgive Portia in order to move the show along. Ashley is unable to do that. She has to be right, and that's my point. And that's why, again, I'm not going back down that road. But that's why it pisses me off every time somebody talks about how Monique was trying to be friends with Giselle. No, Monique was doing her job.
That's what I agree with you on that, but nobody ever hears us. I said the same thing.
It
I said
pisses
y'all
me
got to
off
realize
every
this is
time
a
I hear
short.
somebody say that. It pisses me off.
it's
No,
an ensemble
Monique
cast.
was doing her job.
Because
Yep.
we all know, we've all heard the behind the scenes story. We all know that her and Candace already talked about the plot. But when the camera started rolling, she never tried to kick Candace off the island. She never did that. The only person she was trying to kick off the island that nobody ever talks about is Sharice. And Sharice wasn't even part of the cast because every time Sharice showed up, Monique was gone. And I'm like, okay, she's not part of the cast, so it really doesn't matter. You don't really have to talk to her like that. It's just like Candace not talking to the Muppet. It's like Karen not talking to
Right.
Sharice. They're
And
not
so
in
and
the
so for
cast.
all of those people, and this, and you know what? I'm gonna throw it back, and then I'm gonna wrap it up because the game coming on, and I've been on here for 2 hours.
Mhm.
But let me say this. Let me say this. For all of those people, and including my baby Scotty,
Yeah, because he
for
agreed
all
with
of
that.
those
I knew he was gonna
people,
say that. Yep.
for all of those people that are so mad at Monique for trying to be friends with Giselle, and she was just trying to, now I want you to compare that to what we're dealing with this season, where people are allowed to not film with each other, where people are allowed to not like each other, where people are allowed to not interact with each other. Do you see what we end up with?
Hmm.
Hmm.
That's
So
why Karen understands the silence.
it's one or the other. Either people have to. I ain't say they gotta forgive, but either people have to move forward and do their job, which is what Monique was doing, or or we allow them to work in their own silo, and we get what we've got all year with the Real Housewives of Potomac, and now with Love and Marriage DC. See, that's the problem.
And that's the thing because I feel like Karen, you got to realize Karen had a lot of bad stuff happen to her during her tenure on the show due to Robin and Giselle. They
Exactly.
like, but at the same time, she knows this is a show. She don't want to kick nobody off. She's still going to film with them. She's going to shade them, of course, but she's going to film with them. She's going to invite them to things because she knows this is her job. She don't necessarily have to hang out with them once the camera stop rolling. But once them cameras start rolling, we got a job to do.
Exactly. And
And
that's
people
and
fail
but
to
see, in
realize
Right.
that.
Arts World, that's why I say all of them, because it's not one sided. I know people only hear when I say stuff about Joy, but I have said it about Ashley too. I'm saying both of them are at a point where they won't move forward. Both of them.
Hmm.
Yep.
Regardless of who you think is right or wrong, neither one of them are moving forward. And as long as neither one of them are moving forward, this show is at a stalemate. And unfortunately, again, I'm not talking about where we are present day, because in present day is really bad. But on the show, and where we left off with this group trip, you got Jamie and Urena trying to be the peacemakers, and everybody else in their separate corners, and nobody willing to move. I think Black and Sherelle are willing to try to talk things out, or at least they were. But you have Ashley and Quick over here that's like fuck it, and you got Joy and Clifton over here, and they're like fuck it. And guess what?
They
If
both
nobody
stubborn.
is willing to move, like you could even get Clifton. Jamie was trying to get Clifton to just say, "I didn't mean to," and if you felt like I
That's what I
did,
was saying.
but remember but Joy was like, no, who? We're not
Yep.
apologizing for anything. And I was like, see, how do we move forward? Because even though we know that's a bullshit apology, y'all know I tell y'all that all the time. I hate apologies that start with if I hate those kinds of apologies. But in this situation, baby, at this point, I'll take it.
Exactly, because I hear that
I'll
all the
take
time
it.
too. This is one of those situations where it's just like, I really made you feel away. And since I did make you feel away, even though, and you got to add that part in, even though that's never was my intention,
Never
then
my
I am
intention.
sorry.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I'm just trying to move on. And I was just matching your energy, but I never wanted to cause any harm to you.
And also, I really just conflict resolution in real life. You either fix it or you move on in your damn life, right? I'm just saying, right? In our everyday life, so reality would be you either fix it or you move on, and neither one of them can do it. Anyway, that's
Mm-mm.
all I got to say.
But I
Yeah,
want to
so
hold you up. I appreciate being up here, really,
no,
B.
I appreciate you coming up. Thank you, Don Don, for coming up. Thank you,
You're
Gemini
welcome.
Diva. Thank you for the super chat, Kenya. Thank y'all for being here. Damn, Don Don dropped off. I wanted to tell him something. Damn it. I'll just hit him up on Instagram. With that being said, though, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate y'all, and I will see y'all later on tonight. Later on tonight when we are talking about love. I was gonna say love and marriage. The Real Housewives of Potomac, honey.
Goodness
Mwah. Talk
gracious.
to y'all
Have
later.
a good night.
You too.